In today's competitive world, developing a software or a mobile application and then pushing it to the store will not be sufficient. What if the end user do not like the UI, or the users who download the application is frequently uninstalling it? If this is the case, then it's hard to sustain your business to the market. So here usability testing comes into the action to help you. Hello everyone, my name is Saphal, and in this SkillUp video we will be talking about what and how the usability testing is performed. Stay tuned. When a company develops a software, they will develop how they want it, but we always have to develop a software keeping in mind that the software is not going to be used by a single person or by the in-house user. We have to keep in mind that this application can be used by people with different age group or different geography, so it should be user friendly and easy to use. So today we are going to discuss on when and how the usability testing is performed, the factors and the approaches for usability testing. Before we go into the details, let's know the difference between user testing and usability testing, as I can see many of us get confused with these two terminologies. Performing user testing means understanding how the needs of the user and validating the idea. It helps to understand how people satisfy the need and how they would use an alternative to do so. To understand if a users or a potential customers are able to use our service or the product without any confusions, then it's a usability testing. So user testing has to do with the user functionality, while usability testing has to do with the user behavior. Well, I hope you are now clear about the difference between user testing and usability testing. Now let's talk about when we can start performing the usability testing. It is always recommended to perform usability testing from the design phase. During this phase, we can simply use paper wireframe or a basic interactive prototype can be used to perform usability testing. Let's try to understand this with a basic examples. Suppose you are developing a social networking application where it has a feature that a user can comment, tag a friend, like and share a post or a photo that has been uploaded, and to implement it you have added buttons for all these. But when the end user uses this feature, they will definitely look for the icons instead of the buttons because they are already used to with the popular networking sites like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. So during usability testing, we can suggest to replace the buttons with the icons. We talked about when it is a good time to start the usability testing. Now let's discuss the things to consider while performing the usability testing. Your testing needs to focus on these questions below. The first question is, how quickly can you learn the user interface to accomplish the basic tasks? Is the design of the site easy to use and understand? The second question is, how quickly can you perform the tasks, finding the products, etc. The third one is, when you are back using the application, can you remember how effectively you can use your applications, or are you forced to relearn everything from the beginning? The fourth question is, how often do you make errors while using your website? How serious are those errors and why are you making those, and can you easily recover from those mistakes? The fifth one, after completing those tasks, are you satisfied with the application and its flow? Now let's discuss the things to consider while performing the usability testing. The first point is easily accessible. Suppose you have launched a mobile application but you can't expect the user to visit your website and download it from there. When we say easily accessible, that means everything in today's context must be available in Play Store or the App Store or somewhere user can easily go and download it. The next one is easy terminologies. The second important things to consider during usability testing is the terminologies and the verbiage used in the applications, which must be easily understandable. Let's take an example of a demographic forms where it will have a fields like name, address, age, SSN, etc. These all are easily understandable field names. We need to make sure that the difficult field names or the terminologies should not be used so that users have to go to the Google and find its meaning. The third one, proper help and the validation message. It is always recommended to have a placeholders in the fields, and the concepts or tooltips on the website will make the application more user friendly. Let's say On a particular screen, there are lots of icons and a button used. In this case, user might get confused what those icons for and what are those buttons for. Similarly, proper validation messages should be displayed when user enters wrong data. Also, adding a placeholder to the field's name make the user experience better. The fourth point is UI UX. UI of the application must be good as it is the first impression of the end user while using the applications. Also, the navigation should be simple. If the user feels difficult or gets struggle to navigate from one screen to another, then in such conditions, the user may not use that application further. Thus, navigation through each and every screen should be simple. In conclusion, the most important roles played by the usability testing cannot be overemphasized. It is one of the great techniques that helps a company have an insights on how their users interact with their products. As I mentioned earlier, there are different types of user testing that are suitable for achieving different types of goals, and the best format of the users testing is dependent on the type of product that is presented for usability testing. Apply the appropriate techniques that will help you get a better picture in order for you to make a quality decisions and design a product that is user-centric. I hope you are now clear about usability testing and its importance. That's it for today. Thank you for watching. Happy testing.